What's pleased you most?
The way we've played, really. I think that we've played two good games, been solid. A lot was, I think locally we said that we didn't create a lot, but to keep Bristol City to out without having a shot on goal, I think that should have been the headlines. With the free scoring and the top of the league. Reading similar, so it's. I think it's been too. We knew it was going to be a difficult week, but the lads have responded really, and like I say, we're not large on numbers, so people have had to do different jobs at times.
And a real togetherness shown at the end, getting the players and the team in a huddle. As a manager, how do you go about creating that atmosphere and that togetherness that you seem to have created here with Middlesbrough?
It's just the way I am really. I just the things that I like in football management on the training ground and trying to improve players' confidences. And making them believe in themselves really. And I think they're all playing with confidence at the moment. Whoever gets a shirt, and that's how we want. You're going to make mistakes, and your mate tries to get you out of it. That's the whole thing. We're not, the squads. I mean, you look at Reading's squad, Bristol City squad, and Cardiff tomorrow. I mean, they've got two 11s that could play in the Championship. They've all got two teams. We're down to just fill in the substitutes bench. So it shows what we're up against. But there's only 11 can play, so we've done really well. I think the lads that have turned out have really put a shift in.
Yeah, you seem to be getting the most out of the players that you've got, and also improving the ones that the others as well. Anthony Dykesdale as an example, Mark Bowler as well. Apart from obviously winning games, is that the part you enjoy most?
I enjoy winning games more, if I'm honest. That's just another nice part of it. I enjoy the training ground, and I'm at a stage now where you don't worry. When you're a young man, you worry about results and you worry about the sack and all sorts. I don't really worry about things like that now. Results I do. I like the results to go with us, and I like surprising our own fans, whichever club I'm at, because you always get. I read a few where we were going to lose at Bristol City, what the score was going to be, and things like that. Unfortunately, I can't really ever reply to them. I don't know how to do that, but it's it's nice to get a result like that on the road, and thoroughly deserved, I thought.
Absolutely, and surprising the likes of us as well, with Nathan Wood going up front towards the end of that game in midweek. You seem to really enjoy the management part of the game. How has that changed during your time as a manager? Do you think is it more important now than it was, say, 20 years ago?
No, I think it's always been the same. I did a little bit yesterday with Clem, who's a Middlesbrough fan, and we were talking about this, and really, I think man management's 90% of being successful, might even be 95% of being successful, and that was the same at Gainsborough, Trinity, and Scarborough for me as it is now, and as it always has been. There's a lot said about coaching and what you can do and what you do. I mean, if you looked at Bristol the other night, the last 15 minutes, all they did was knock it long. If that had been me, I'd have been crucified. So it's just how you set up, really. It's just how you get tainted with a brush, and you have to get on with it.
Does that ever bother you, being tainted with the brush?
Only a little bit. I mean, it all started early. Like I go back to my Notts County days where I had a back five, and they couldn't pass water. So it was no good as trying to pass the ball around in them days. And it seemed to have stuck with that, really. I think when I don't like 25 passes in my own box, if I'm honest, for the sake of it. That's not football for me. But it's everybody's different outlook on it, isn't it, really?
Absolutely. Back to your old stomping ground on Saturday, a place where you made many of fantastic memories. Is it still a club close to your heart?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'd nearly finished in football when I went to Rotherham, and the circumstances there, which were fantastic, really got my enthusiasm back up. And then meeting Mehmet Delman, who was the chairman at Cardiff, one of the best one of the best guys I've ever met, and he really, I couldn't have done anything at Cardiff like I did without him. He was just an amazing mentor type of player, which you all managers need people to talk to. So I think the crowd as well. The Cardiff crowd's almost like a Yorkshire crowd. They're all blood and guts, and and that's how I like it. So it was always a great appointment for me, and I really enjoyed it. And to bring success, I mean, not enough was made of that, really. I mean, to achieve promotion to the Premier League with that group of players was probably the biggest achievement I'll ever do.
A bit saddened that there won't be, tens of thousands of Cardiff fans there tomorrow.
Well, I'm sad about not just Cardiff, everywhere.
Yeah.
We showed at Middlesbrough against Bournemouth that 1,000 fans could come in and it make a difference as well. The atmosphere for both sides, and we did it very, very, very cleansely. Everything was adhered to, the distancing was adhered to, and yet we still can't do that. It is a little bit frustrating at the moment for sides, but just got to get on with it now. And I'll still see a lot of old friends at the weekend because most of the lads are there. I mean, the other night, I think 8 out of the 11, and Morrison, who was there when I were there, 9 out of the 11 were my lads. Really, are you with me? So there was only I think there was only Ojo on the right and Wilson who were new. So it's pretty much the same squad. Great bunch of lads as well, and really hard to play against. They battered us up here really at the end of last season, and I hope we can give them a better game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, what do you make of their start to the season, Neil, so far?
Pretty, that's how we all are, really. There's games, I mean, the other night they should have won. I thought they had the chances, even though Bournemouth had the possession. And I think that's like every game we've played we could have won this year. So it's just getting that little rub of the green, at the right times that take you up that league. And at this time of the year, I think anything's possible. We've only just kicked off, really. So I think they've always been a really strong, steady side, and that's not going to change. Although I think they've changed the style now since I left. They're playing a lot more football now.
Or so they say, at least. Britta Sombalonga, how's he doing?
Well, we're training this afternoon, so I'm hoping he'll do a little bit. At the moment, well, from yesterday, I don't think he's got much chance, but we'll see this afternoon. He was brighter in himself. He'll have had some treatment this morning, and like I say, we're training in about an hour's time or 2 hours' time, something like that, so we'll have a look at him there. But we've got that many games coming. I think it's important that he's right, really.
And what is the injury, can you say? I know you said it was different to what took him off against Reading on Saturday.
It's just a nick on his adductor, what they call the adductor, like the side groin. And it just didn't feel right. And so straight away we took him off and kept him out of the squad at Bristol. But he's had treatment while we've been away, and he's been swimming and everything. So, you've just got to, like I say, with so many games coming up, haven't we? We can't risk anybody. But we'll know in about an hour, 2 hours' time.
Any other injury concerns apart from Brit?
No, not really, no. Not that I'm aware of.
Let's hope there's no surprises. And just looking ahead, obviously you're talking about the free agent market and that sort of stuff. Any green lights yet for those moves? No,
not yet. No, we're still looking around, and one or two options, one or two players being mentioned on our radar. But at the moment, I don't think, we're not signing anybody at the minute.
And I know you want to be up there competing. How will that affect things, do you think, if you're not able to get that cover that you want?
Well, it won't affect anything if we don't have any injuries. But if you look at the team, right down the spine, really, if we do get injuries, we are really, really thin. But other players will come and do a job. I say hey ho now. I don't get uptight about it. I don't think we're anywhere near the favourites. What you've just said about getting in there. I think possibly we would have liked to have been challenging, and you don't know where we're going to be. But with the squad we've got, we'll be lucky to be up there, if I'm honest.
Best of luck Saturday. Thanks for your time, Neil.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Who's next?
Simon.
Hi, Neil. Just a couple from me.
Simon, yeah.
I've spoken to a couple of people who cover Cardiff City, and they said that if there had been fans in the ground tomorrow, you would have had an amazing reception. Is that nice to hear?
It is, yeah. I'm not surprised either because I had a tremendous time. I always said it was great for me in the fact that it wasn't just managing the team. When I took over at Cardiff, they were a broken club really, and it was getting everything back, singing from the same hymn sheet, which really I thought was probably the best job I've done really. Getting fans to believe again and support the board and all get together. It was great feeling, and it was nice to be able to achieve that. And I'm sure, like you say, I'm sure I would have got a nice welcome. But it was the right time to leave. I thought they could get in the playoffs. I said that when I left. They had a good squad, still got a good squad in that respect. But I always said when one or two fans start chipping at me, I'll that'll be the time I go away. And that's what happened on the old. I shouldn't read the forum, should I really? But once they started chipping, I thought I don't want this really. I just want to leave it at a good time and let somebody else have a go.
It was a job that you did that had such incredible highs and unfortunately lows as well, because you had the amazing promotion, then you had the tragedy of Emiliano Sala, which everyone said that you handled so sensitively as well. Yeah,
it's not something I would ever hope anything like that happens again. It's some you can't cater for something like that. It was a very emotional time, but I thought our fans were fabulous. I've got nothing but praise how they cope with it, and the players were good. It affected one or two a little bit more than what it should, and yet I think everybody came through it realizing how important life is really in that respect, and it did put a new perspective on it to me that you're only here for a short time and you've got to enjoy it, and hence that's I think that was one of the reasons that I decided to call it a day there, and now I'm at another challenge which I'm enjoying, where fans are pleased to see me. Might not be for long, but I think it's just great to be wanted, and I love doing my job. I love improving players, if I'm honest, and working hard for the fans.
Last one from me. If you looked at the start of the week, you had Reading, Bristol City, Cardiff, and at the time, Reading and Bristol City were the 200% teams, and Cardiff, everyone knows they're a good team, and going away to them was hard. I mean, this could end up being the week that sets up your entire season, couldn't it?
Well, if you'd have said to me on Saturday morning last week, we'll give you 4 points this week, then you would have snapped their hand off. Make no mistake, with like I said, with the numbers that we have. But the lads have surprised everybody, and they're playing some good stuff as well. I'm really enjoying watching them. And if they play, as I said to them after the game, if you play like that and lose, I'll never criticise them. We haven't got the goals that other teams have got, numbers wise. But if we continue to play like that, I'm going to enjoy it, and why not? And I think the lads are as well at the moment.
Thanks, Neil.
Thank you, Sam.
Look north, please.
Look north.
Morning, Neil. It's Michael and Look North here. Hello.
Hi, Mike.
I just wonder, after half a dozen games, Neil, just how happy are you with how the team's playing, sort of up and down the park throughout the field?
Well, I think all managers, want perfection, really. As I've said earlier, I think we could have won every game, but silly mistakes have cost us goals and points and things, and linesman decisions. I can't forget that one. So it's, I think overall it's been a steady start really, and I think all the lads, they couldn't give me any more than what they are doing. I'm really, I've asked them to try and play with a smile on their face and enjoy it, and they have been. And as I said the other night, even if you get beat, if you play like that, I don't, you're not seeing me criticising.
Great to see George Saville getting a goal in midweek from midfield. With Ash Fletcher out for a while, and with failing to sign, you've talked about failing to sign the likes of Balassi. So how important is it that you get goals from players all over the field like George did in midweek? Well,
it's always important at whatever even if you've got 5 strikers, it's always important to get goals from all over the show. When I was at Cardiff, we always knew we've got a great chance at free kicks and long throws, etc., which will be raining in tomorrow, and because that's part of the rules of the game, and then you've always got the wide lads chipping in. They've all got to chip in, and and that's what happened over the last few years with me. The wide lads have chipped in with important goals as well.
And last one from me. You've mentioned being on the lookout for another striker, someone who's a free agent. You've been in the game a long time. I'm sure you've looked at free agents at various stages in your career. But with the COVID situation now, are you having a look and going, oh gosh, this guy's available? Are there players available because of the current situation that in more normal times wouldn't be a free agent at this point?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a big open. I think it's opened eyes, this COVID, to agents, to football clubs, to players. The financial aspects of the clubs aren't there anymore. Well, a lot of clubs they can't afford it anymore. There's no revenue coming in, as I've said. I've not really pestered Steve, even though I would have liked another couple of players because the squad's too small. But I don't think you can pester your owners if you've got no money coming in. So it's one of those, you have to roll your sleeves, and probably certain lads have to play a different position here and there, but at least you're playing, and I think that's what the lads are enjoying. They're all involved at the moment.
Thanks, Neil.
No problem.
Ian Hunt, please.
Where are you, Ian? Hiya, Ian. Blink. I did reply. I did ring you. Yeah, I thought you were going to ring me yesterday, but carry on.
Yes. No, that's fine. Thanks for calling back.
Yeah.
Good to see you again, Neil.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, I just wonder, you seem to love living in South Wales, and you've talked about your connection with the fans. You love that connection. What's it going to be like walking out into that stadium tomorrow with no fans there, and who are the friends that you would seek out?
Well, it'll still be easier without any fans, I think. I think it would have been quite emotional, I think, with a full house. I mean, you've heard the Welsh national anthem. I've never heard anything like that. I was even crying at the rugby game, Ian, when I was down there. And that was nothing to do with me. So, they're so passionate, aren't they? So I think to go out with no fans, I think that might be a plus tomorrow, emotionally anyhow. But I will come back at some stage, whether I'm managing a team or whether I'm just come to watch a team, because I didn't get a chance to say thank you to 95% of the fans, Ian. Not the 5% on the forum that I read. I won't miss them.
Yeah, the one or two who you said started to criticise you maybe on the forums. Do you feel like you got enough credit for what you did at Cardiff? You've talked about that. Maybe you deserve more credit for getting them into the Premier League.
I don't think anybody realises where we were when I took over, Ian, if I'm honest, and what we did in that time. I think, like I said, Mehmet Dalman, absolutely amazing for me. I couldn't have done the job without him. But together, I thought we went on a ride, and we loved every minute of it, really. But sometimes, I think when you get success, certain people and your fans demand it all the time. Don't expect it, don't they, almost? And forget where you were. But I left a really good squad of players and a club. I think you'll realise, Ian, more than anybody, a together club, wasn't it? We went back together with the fans and the board and Vincent and everybody. And it was nice to see everybody back together because it was really fractured when I took over. And I had jobs on and off the field to heal. I had to heal wounds. So it's one of the, probably, if not the best job I did to get them in the Premier League. I think that was, to beat Fulham as we did late on like that. And I think they'd gone 20 games or something, hadn't they? We had a defeat. So to pip them was an amazing feat, really. And I looked at the team the other night, Ian, and there was, young Bagelin come in at fullback, didn't he? And I brought him up to the first team to train with the first team when I were down there. I think he's got a good chance. He went off to Notts County and had a good time there. So I think with Morrison, I think 9 of the 11 were there, when I were there, were my lads, more or less. So it's a little bit strange pitting your wits against that, But I'm enjoying it here. They're a very good club. I think the owner's very, very good, and the only thing missing again is fans. But I'm looking forward to seeing one or two old faces tomorrow, and I'm sure there'll be people that I can't wait to meet and speak to, because a lot of people did a lot for me down there, and I can't thank them enough, really.
And you said last season you always thought they'd get to the playoffs.
I did,
They
yeah.
did, obviously, and lost out. What do you make of the squad that they've got now and the additions? Harry Wilson, Kiefer Moore, the sort of players maybe you'd wish you'd been able to sign when you were down there?
Well, I tried to sign Kiefer Moore at Middlesbrough, but he decided Cardiff. No, I'm not surprised with his Welsh connections. And, I think Cardiff have got more chance than us of going up, really, with the squad they've got. But I just think with Harry Wilson, it's a great signing for him, really. And, how the hell he must have had a good talk, Neil, to the owners, to Vincent, to get him.
Well, they said they can't believe they got him.
I can't believe they got him, no. But it's not just that. It's the team came together. The other night it was good to see. I'm glad he got his first goal the other night. I wouldn't have wanted that to come against us so early. So, but we know what's expected. Ian, I've always thought that they would be in that top 6 this season without a shadow of a doubt with what they've got plus what they've added. They've not lost an awful lot, really. I mean, we lost 9 players last year here, and I think we've signed about 4 or 5. So we're way down on the numbers in comparison. But it's a well-run club, and I really, I like to. I'm quietly satisfied underneath the job that I did to help the club come back round, because it is a lovely club, and the fans are. I used to love going out to the valleys, Ian, them social clubs with them flat caps on. They are. It's a unique place, I think, the valleys.
Still have the flat caps on.
Yeah.
And just finally, Neil, from me, you mentioned Joel Bacon playing on Wednesday for Cardiff. I mean, you did say a few weeks ago you didn't think there was much talent in the under-23s. They weren't good enough for the first team. Yeah. But he's proof that maybe there is something there in the.
Yeah, I mean, Joel Bacon. I wouldn't class him in that statement that I said. Really, I always think that Joe's good enough. He went to Notts County last year. I don't think many of the other lads went out to Football League clubs. So and I do think, when I see the comparison up here with lads coming through, I see 6 or 7 lads up here that could possibly get in the first team in the next 2 years. I just can't see that down there, And I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's more to follow. But I think Joel is the outstanding prospect. Cool head, lovely left foot, smashing lad. So everything in his book to become a good player.
Enjoy the trip back tomorrow, Neil.
Thanks, Ian.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Cheers.